Welcome to Get Money or Get Out, and I want to tell you guys about the time that I lost $100,000. This is not scripted. This is straight from the dome. I'm going to tell you guys about this. And I got some visuals for you. Got some evidence where I was in cryptocurrency. I made upwards of $100,000 and I lost it. I went straight to wrecked. What we like to call in cryptocurrency, I took a one-way ticket to Wreckedville. I got wrecked, baby. Now you may be wondering, Bruce, if you lost 100,000, how are you smiling? How are you laughing? There's a happy ending to it, and I'll tell you that in a different segment. But right now, let me just start from the beginning. So I got into cryptocurrency around the end of 2016, and I started buying Bitcoin. When it was, I can't even remember how much it was. Let me see. How much was it at that time? How much was Bitcoin in December 2016? $400. Oh my God. All right, so back when Bitcoin was it was around $600. It was $400 to $600 back in 2016 when I started buying it. And back then I was just like, wow, this is really expensive, but it was the most expensive cryptocurrency out there, and it was way more volatile. So, and people weren't on board. It was hard to move it around and stuff like that. 2016. So I started buying it, and I had proof that it worked. I hadn't read the white paper or anything like that. What I wanted to know is if it worked and would this be the new currency going forward. So I actually started buying. What I did was I had this card, and you can use the card to make purchases. So I was doing that in 2016, 2017. So I was literally buying things with Bitcoin. And why that was important to me is because it made me realize that this really worked. And they had all these fountains. There's all these ways to make Bitcoin, and I was using a lot of them to make it. And so I had Bitcoin, and I started trading it and stuff like that, and I started making more Bitcoin. So what I want to do is take you on a little journey. I'm going to show you evidence, some old screenshots. This is from what you're looking at over here, up over in this direction. This is one of my Instagram accounts, and this Instagram account is called Yuri Bruce Team. If you want to check me out, I post things every now and then. But this right here was back in 2017, July. I started getting into altcoins, and I was really big into ICOs. ICOs, I don't know if you remember, but there was the ICO craze came out. It was basically an ICO as an initial coin offering. And all of these cryptocurrencies started being made on Ethereum. I was buying Bitcoin, I was buying Ethereum, and then I started jumping on ICOs. So what you're looking at over here is the first ICO for a coin called EOS and another one called Opus token. EOS actually ended up doing really well, by the way. And so that's an important part of the story. This is marked as July 28th, 2017. All right, so fast forward a little bit. I posted some other stuff about cryptocurrencies that I had. This was back when Bitcoin, this is a snapshot that I took from Coin Market Cap, I think it's called, Crypto Market Cap, where Bitcoin was $52 billion, right? It was listed at 3,117, $3,172. And this was back in August 2017. It started blowing up. Like 2016 to 2017, we had this crazy run of crypto. If you had Bitcoin at that time, and if you still hold it, you're doing good right now. So that's just kind of taking you on my journey here. And I'm going to take you to when I started really doing well. I start holding it on a regular basis and stuff. So this is November 2017. I had $15,000 worth of cryptocurrency, and some of my Bitcoin actually sold it and started messing around with buying Dash, started buying EOS, altcoins. I would read the papers on altcoins and kind of jump on the bandwagon, right? So that's what happened. So if you see these coins now, they're not, this one, Dash got up to $600. It was doing pretty good. EOS went up to $20 at some point. And that's where kind of, you know where this story is going if you follow this. So I held it and started buying more. Had a little bit of Bitcoin, but not much. And I was really into altcoins. And so it got up to $47,000, so I had about $50,000 at this time. And it didn't stop there. It went up to $60,000. This is another screenshot of my Blockfolio account. And as you can see, I bought a little bit more Dash here and there. I bought some IOTA. IOTA went up to like $5. It went pretty high at some point. Some of the altcoins I had really, really did well. I mean, some of them really blew up. It got up to $80,000. See, look at this. I made $80,000 in Bitcoin. So I had, and I'm not showing the biggest one I had, but I had a million Kin that got up to like $2,000 or $3,000 at one point. I had XVG. I don't even know what the hell that is these days, but it got up to, my holdings were $2,000, and at this time, my biggest holdings was in EOS, and EOS was a pretty high amount. EOS, this was December 31, 2017. So let me see how much EOS was. So if you go back, EOS, I had 2,000 of them, and in December it got to $11. At one point it hit 20. Right here it hit like $20, and that's when I had made the most money in May 2018. So when you're looking at this $80,000, most of that was EOS. I had a bunch of Dash. I had some Bitcoin, and I think I had some Ethereum at that time. And then finally, I made it to $100,000. That's what this is, $107,000. Actually, it got even higher than this. At one point, I had like 130,000, but I never took a screenshot of that. I mean, or maybe I did. It's somewhere. So look at me. I'm like, oh, hodl gang, cryptocurrency. Is it real? Oh, cryptocurrency, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, yeah. So Dash was my biggest holdings. EOS, I had some Bitcoin. At one point I had 2 or 3 Bitcoin when Bitcoin was like at $6,000 or something. I did good. But here's where I went wrong. Here's where I got wrecked. So these prices don't stay high forever. And the valuable lesson that I should have learned from this was that you have to take profit. It's not going to stay up forever. Dash, for example, got to $1,000 per Dash. I had 20 Dash, so I had $24,000 in Dash. Pretty good. But the problem was I didn't know any better. So you have to take profits. You don't just sit on it. You take some profits. So what I should have done was sell about 5 to 10, half. I should have sold about half of my Dash is what I could have done. Or even if it was a third or 25% of my Dash, you have to take profit. And really, you want to take the profit that you put in. Anything that you put in, you want to take it out. And I didn't do that with Dash. I just kept putting more money in because I thought the Dash at the time was going to be the end all be all. And it may still be. I don't know. Dash is still out there, still doing all right. I still believe in the project, but it's not worth $1,000 right now. Right now, it's at, oh man, it's down to, what is the price of Dash right now? $200, $300, something like that. I don't know. Let me see. 148. No, that's DoorDash. $221. So it went from $1,100 down to, and at the time, you know, there was this hype around this coin. Everybody's saying, "Oh, it's gonna go up to 5,000 a piece or 10,000," like ridiculous prices. And it may still one day it might do that. But the thing is, you have to take profits. If you get into cryptocurrency, you have to sell what you put in. If, in other words, I came in Dash when it was worth about $100 a piece or $30, something like that. It was very low. And I bought, I don't know, I had like 10 of them or something. And it went up to 1,000. I should have at least taken out my initial investment and a little bit more. I could have taken out half of this and I still would have been okay. And then EOS was another one. EOS, let me tell you a little something about EOS. EOS went to $20. And at that time, I could have sold half of it. And that's exactly what I should have done. Sold half of my EOS at the peak of the hype. Because what happened was people in Korea started getting a hold of EOS. And it just went crazy. It went to Southeast Asia and it just went all the way up to 20. And at the time, the EOS guys who created EOS were going from country to country promoting it and saying, "Hey, we're going to put all this stuff in it and it's going to do this and it's going to be the Ethereum killer," and all this kind of stuff. And then when you read the white paper and when you listen to them, it sounded legit. And it's a legit, it's not a scam or anything. It is a legit cryptocurrency. It's real. It's just that they stopped developing it. They didn't continue, and then a couple of the original guys, Dan Larimer and some others, don't do anything with it. And they had a war chest of Bitcoin of like, I don't know, $4 billion or something like that. They bought a ton of Bitcoin and Ethereum, and they never reinvested back into the EOS. So EOS is just stagnant. And so now EOS right now is at $3 or something like that. I lost a lot of money. And this is where I went one-way ticket to Wreckville. If I could go back, I would have sold about half of everything I had for cash, for either USD or for Bitcoin. And Ethereum would have also been a great bet. Like any one of those would have made it so that I could have not retired, but been sitting on like $1 million right now. I mean, I would have been sitting on like $1 million. So that's the story of how I lost $100,000. And there is a positive side to this story. And the reason why, like, I was on this run, I was doing something called Crypto Noob. I don't know if anybody followed me at that time, but this channel used to be all about crypto. And I would basically learn live. I would do these live sessions where I would learn, and you and I would learn together cryptocurrency. And I would buy things. I would talk about different cryptocurrencies, talk about the white papers, stuff like that. So yeah, that's the story of how I lost $100,000. If you get into cryptocurrency, this cautionary tale should be, don't buy the hype, buy low, buy the dips, and always take profits. That means when it goes up, when it's hitting its peak all-time high and going above that, take some profit. That means cash some of it out, sell some of it. Not all of it. Sell some of it, take cash. Because you don't know what's going to happen from that point. One thing's for sure, it's not going to keep going up forever. That's for certain. So you want to take profit up there, don't get too greedy, and then get out of the trade. That's what you should do. All right, guys. See you on the next one. Next one, I'll tell you guys about how kind of a positive side of why I'm not too bummed out about my losses there. I'll see you on the next one.